Now, let's get back to the Chinese spy balloon shot down in the States over the weekend. Let's get the scientific view first from astrophysicist Brad Tucker, who joins me from Canberra. Great to talk to you again, Brad. First up, do we have any idea how common a balloon like this is? This is a totally different balloon to what we normally see testing weather around the world, isn't it?
It is, but it's actually quite common. In fact, I'm quite familiar with this, having used the same or a similar platform to do my own research. In fact, we've had NASA, who's maintained a similar high-altitude balloon program for about 2 decades. They often go to Antarctica, but they've flown from other places, New Zealand often. We even had Google X operate a private company called Loon, and in fact, essentially they were using a very similar platform to do internet over multiple countries, and they did this for years. So this is actually a lot more common than, you may think of that kind of party balloon or latex balloon glowing up. I think in this case, it was the first obvious case of it being applied in a at least somewhat uncertain scientific or technological paradigm, given just how it's operated. And they really are capable a lot more than one may think.
Yeah, now they're obviously cheaper than rockets and satellites, and obviously can fly at a lower altitude, but high enough to avoid detection. It seems odd, if they're not wanting to be detected, that they would fly low enough that they can be visible to the naked eye.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you're always going to have some sort of visibility, as you said, and it's a lot lower than satellites. And by being a lot closer to Earth, you actually get a lot higher resolution than a lot of the satellites. And that's often why people use these. Lower satellites are constantly orbiting the Earth. These can relatively stay in spot. So how they're not expecting to be detected, or at least, hey, what's that in the sky? It's not clear. And it wasn't clear either if they had slightly blown off course, even though they were somewhat being deliberate, or they were trying to go under an aura of maybe even detection methods. How well can these balloons be detected in quick succession? Maybe it was a test of defense capabilities, because as you said, very clearly visible from people on the ground. You can detect them obviously from radar and other things, but it also can maybe be so confusing that they maybe thought it would slide in. Regardless of that, it was very clear that they didn't follow all the normal protocols. When you launch these things, you have to have certain tracking beacons, operate on certain frequencies. You have to issue what's called NOTAMS, notice to airmen, because you're going through civilian airspace. This balloon did not do a lot of that. So as much as they say it blew off course, they didn't even do the beginning things that would make it clear it's a civilian scientific payload.
Yeah, they're obviously being surreptitious. Thanks for joining us, Brad. I hope you're on the lookout over Australian skies in coming days.